Hello, in this video I'm going to be showing you how I stuffed this big, cheap, standing grappling dummy that I got off Amazon. Not too long ago I got one of the classic kind of guard position dummies that lays down, has its arms up and knees up. And it's pretty cool, but it's not useful for standing techniques. And I wanted to get a standing technique one, but they're even more expensive generally. If you look online, the filled ones are just insane. But even the normal ones, unfilled, there's a variety of different things to choose from. And I just so happened to get a $50 Amazon gift card from my Wyndham Hotel Rewards program, because I travel a lot for work. And I was like, you know what, I think I'm gonna see if I can get one of those dummies, or at least pay for most of it. I was thinking I was gonna have to pay 70 or 80 bucks, use $50 of the gift card, then fork over 20. But this one here, from this name brand, Kuhl, I guess, was on Amazon. They had it normally $55, and it had one with damaged packaging available for $25, free shipping. And it's kind of a gamble, because in the photos there's like weird photoshopped ones of like a dude throwing it, and it's like, well, if this is real, why can't you just take a picture with it? So I didn't know what I was going to be getting. Worst case scenario, it gets there, it's garbage, and I send it back. No harm, no foul. Best case scenario, I get a dummy for 25 bucks. And it looks like that's what happened, because this thing is a beast. And I'll show you how I stuffed it. I stuffed it for almost nothing. Before we get to showing you that, let me just get a look at this thing. Okay, like I said, it's this name brand Kuhl, but they have it, I think, kind of white labeled under a number of different manufacturers or brand names. I think it's manufactured in China. This one comes with his arms sticking out. It says 70 inches, that's accurate, because I'm 6'2", and 70 inches is 6 foot. I look just a little bit on the top of its head there. But yeah, kind of a narrow waist, big, fat, heavy legs, which is good for keeping it bottom heavy and getting it ready for tossing. But it is really well built. It's got this fake leather, vinyl kind of material. I'm very happy with it. Anyway, here is the process that I took to get it from folded up in a bag to what you see here. Get a look at this. It's got string because the bottom of the legs is actually open, and you tie it kind of like tying a shoe. With this stuff, it's real thick, like vinyl material. This thing is like almost 6 feet tall. I'm 6'2", and it's looking me in the eye pretty much. Let's see if I can get it propped up here on the treadmill here. So that's the brand that I got, but they have all kinds of different brands that just sew their patch onto this. I'm assuming Chinese made general product. Ooh, we're trying to fall down. Yeah, it's about 6 feet tall. Said the bottom has these open areas, so you can feel it from the bottom of the legs. Got the arms kind of stick out in the front all goofy. It's more of a throwing dummy stand-up game than it is grappling. It's got that zipper down the back. Ooh, And it's got some zippers down the back of the legs. That's nice. Got zippers. Velcro. It's got Velcro openings. Yeah, I'm 6'2". This is the pin. Feet sticking on the ground. Good size. 70 inches pins, 70 inches. Well worth what I paid for it. Okay, the first thing I'm going to do is take this assortment of beans and rice. I'm going to put them into 1 pound bags. And then I'm going to duct tape the bags really well so that there's no chance of moisture getting into them. So I don't want any like beans growing or molding or anything. But this is just to make sure that I get some extra weight in the legs because I want it to be bottom heavy. I just made sure to get 2 of each. There's different kinds. It's just whatever's on sale or marked down at, like, you know, the thrift grocery stores or whatever. It's literally like $5 worth of stuff, really. I got 2 of each thing that I'm using so I can make sure that each leg has like the same amount, you know, which is silly, but it's just for me to keep track of it. So there's enough here to make sure that there's an extra 10 pounds of beans and rice in each leg, in between the layers of shredded up clothing, just to make sure that I'm getting my best like weight per volume down in the legs to make sure that they're heavy enough to counteract the top part. I'm gonna go ahead and bag these all up in these Ziploc bags, put 1 pound each in these Ziploc bags, and then just duct tape the hell out of them just to make sure that they're good to go. And then I'll start stuffing on the dummy.
Many minutes later.
So there it is. This has actually ended up being 16 pounds total because that instant rice was a little bit light. Each of these bags is 1 pound. 2 pounds of the instant rice made out to 3 bags, so I kind of thought I was losing my returns on that. So I'll just eat that. This is labeled left and right, so I don't have the exact same amount going into each leg. And what I'll do is I'll put one in, put some of the shredded clothes around, pack it down, and repeat. Just try and give the legs a little bit extra oomph to them. Okay, the next step is the worst. We've got about 3 or 4 trash bags worth of cut up clothes. You can get this stuff, where I get it from is like marine supply places, because out on the boats they use these cut up clothing things for rags in the engine room and cleaning the boats and stuff. They just get them in big boxes. You can get them pretty cheap from them. If you go to order them online or whatever, then you're paying like $60. Also, you can just go to thrift stores. A lot of times they'll just sell you bulk clothes that aren't like really good enough for them to sell, and you get this. The only problem is you'll want to wash it. If you're doing a heavy bag, it's not a big deal because you're not going to snuggle with it, but for a grappling dummy, you're going to smell it. It's got kind of a, like, it's not dirty, but it was put away wet kind of smell, you know? Anyway, what I'll do is these rags, of course from the thrift store you'd have a whole shirt, but these rags are too big. If you crumple them up, shove them in the dummy, there's still a lot of air in there. So what you do is you get you a pair of scissors, put some athletic tape around your fingers so they don't bleed, and you just cut away until you have this, these small little scraps. This is basically what you'll find whenever you break open a heavy bag for boxing. It's just this tiny cut up little fabric. So now I've got to turn about 3 trash bags worth of this into this.
Many unbearable hours later.
Now I've got several bags worth of this finely chopped up, stripped up, recycled textile. Almost ready to start stuffing the dummy, except for one problem. Not only we have the bottom of the feet with these openings like this, but I just noticed crotch is the same story. Where you got to lace up the whole crotch. I guess you could go and get some good, easier to use shoestrings or something, but the strings that this thing came with, the ends are like this. So it won't even go through the holes. That stuff's kind of like leathery material. So I'm going to try and make ends with this electrical tape and a lighter, and sew the bottom of the feet and start stuffing it a little bit. I also got 10 of these sandbags from some gym weights, you know, like you put on your arms or legs to add just weight, and they're nice and heavy. Those are going to be the very bottom of the feet. I don't know where you would get these, maybe cheap somewhere, but they were just laying around, not getting used, so those are going in there too. Okay, so there's the bottom of the foot. I'm tie it off on the inside, which might be a little bit tricky, but it's a start. Stuck it out, tied it on the outside real tight, cut it back through and pull it through. So I end up with this. And I'll do the other foot the same way. And I'll put those sandbags in, put a handful of clothes in, and then I'll put those sandbags in the very bottom, so that nothing small is poking out these little tiny holes.
"11 minutes later."
Okay, time to start stuffing. big heavy legs. Now it's time, I guess, to lace up this crotch and start filling it in the back. Crotch is stitched up. I realized the arms also have a seam that needs to be stitched. Kind of useless, but further investigation, I have noticed that the reason that there's these tiny openings in the arm, these little bitty things right here, is because you can't actually get into the arms from the bottom. They're completely separated. So you gotta stuff the whole arm, both directions, a little tiny hole. It's just a few inches. So I'm going to try and show now. Probably going to be a pain in the ass. Pain in the ass to stitch it closed, but see what we can do. It's not pretty, but it's closed. Start the first holes with the thread before I stuff the arm. This last one I missed the very last hole, so I couldn't get to it with it stuffed. have to shred up the trash bag's worth of recycled clothes because it's not quite full. But after that, we'll be done. Standing up straight. I'm 6'2". He's right at 6 feet tall. Easily over 100 pounds. It's a lot of dummy. Anyway, hope this was useful. Pretty worth $25 for me, to be honest. Probably still a steal at 50 bucks that you can get it at normal prices. Take it easy.